Hello everybody, it's Dan Walls back again for my afternoon's live streaming of spray painting sunflowers. This morning you may have caught, well you didn't, only one person side, you may have caught me painting the bees. Realistic bees that are going to go in Sunderland Hospital's garden featured room. And I've also done a few butterflies and bits and bobs. I'm going to crack on with the painting, but first I am going to link this once again to my Facebook account, the Dan Walls account, and I'll also be sharing it on the Illumination Wall Art Facebook page. So if you just give me one moment, I will share this. Unmute microphone. I'll share it. Hello. With you in one moment. Okay, so as you can see behind me, I've done one already, and I'm going to be doing the one above next. So we want to just mosey that up there a little bit. So this one first. This one is done in mixed media as always, starting off with loop spray paint, and then further going into it with acrylic paints for the green and the brown, hitting it again with transparents, creams, different tones of green and tones of bright yellow. So for this one, I'm going in first with the Malaga, and I'm just going to be putting it in liberally all the way around the petals. What I want to do here as well is making sure that the light comes down from the top and the dark is in the bottom. Doesn't matter if you go over it in the middle because we're going to be doing that dark brown anyway. And just putting it in the tips like that, nice and bright, all the way along, watching your pressure as well, and trying to keep within the lines, not being too precious because these are, of course, going to be cut out and mounted to a wall later. So, just popping around the side here like that, and above like this. Just buzzing it in there, making sure we don't put it all the way at the top because we want to make sure we've got some room for the lighter tones later. What I am going to do later as well is also add some green leaves around these as well, big thick leaves, but for now we'll just go with this and pop it in. So we've got that sorted out. That is the Malaga. We're going to be switching it over to a slightly lighter Valencia, and where we've left bits in the tips, we're just going to buzz very lightly around the outside to get a nice blend. So it goes from the Valencia into the Malaga. All the way along the bottoms like that, fill it in around the tops. All underneath and over. And it's starting to come together now a little bit. We're starting to get where we want to go with that. But I'm also wanting to go in with some cream now. So I'm going to switch this one up. Going with a Crest, which is a very kind of light creamy sort of colour. Just to buzz in along the tops before we add white later on. Just along the areas which would go up the top and benefit from hitting the sunlight. Looking very nice, excellent. Now for the middle, which one was I using for the middle? I was using a light brown. I think if we go, yeah, we'll go with this one. We'll go with the Salzburg for this one, which is a slightly darker tone. But it doesn't matter because we're going to be going into it later on with acrylics anyway. So we just buzz all this in all the way around. And where you've got these ridges, I'll let it go up and just put a circle like this, just so we're not going too far over. So it's got a soft, sort of fuzzy edge to the top parts. All the way along like that. It's important as well that you don't go into these leaves here because they will actually be blocking off the texture where it'll hit. So I'm going to be using a bit of cardboard as before just to buzz all the way along the outside of this like that. Loop it at the top like that, and generally where there's a straight line you just want to be putting this in soft like that. Work your way all the way around the middle part and just buzz it in as you would the top bit there. With that, oh, a little bit there as well. So get that all in there, let it dry, and while that is drying I'm going to switch to a white. So I'm going to be going with regular loop white, get that kind of the way of the shot. And generally we want to be using this just to put some lighting effects in, so you don't want to go too close. What you want to do is go up the top and just go up to where your line is and just dust it in from about half a foot away. Not being too crazy with your can pressure, you're just literally dusting it in the very tips of these petals and over the top and up to the line like that, see? And you will get less of it down here as it goes further. You just want to put little bits in to suggest that the sun's hitting it on a nice day. Excellent. So with that, what I want to do now is I'm going to get a brush from over here. I need to clean this brush because I have been painting my entry for the Bomb and Science competition to win loads of Molotov cans. So I want to get this brush, which is covered in white gloss, and I'm just going to give it a quick wipe down because we're going into a very dark brown kind of colour. This is just your Calvin & Co. regular dark brown acrylic. I'm going to decipher some into a little pot. We don't need loads of it, but we want enough to be able to put this brush in and make sure it's not very white for the gloss that's remaining in the brush. And with this just right in your centre, you just want to stick this in all the way around. It is mixing with the gloss a little bit, but it doesn't matter, it can darken out as we go. And just pop it around little bits, dab bits here, there and everywhere. Because what we want to do with this is not just colour it in, but we want to be able to make some kind of texture so it fills up and it pops. I'll just get the phone and my mucky fingers on it. There we go. So yeah, up close and personal with this, we just want to be working this in little bits as we go like that. So we're using the side of the brush and just building it up, layering it over and over and over. You can do all sorts with this. If you were more kind of, I don't know, if you were more precious with it, you could possibly build up scales for a fish's body, like this sort of thing. If we were painting a fish, like realistic, you could do that to build up scales, textures. There's all sorts of stuff you can do, but for this, we're just going to be very rough. And we're just going to flick it in like that, little dabs of the brush. Load it up with the paint. We're starting to run out, so I will pop you back down on here. There we go. So generally just work your way into the middle like that, as you would. Just so it starts to get a good concentration in the middle of very dark brown like that. Just dabbed all over. And that'll fill up the space there. Lovely. And there's a few little bits here as well. Following this one, so what you want to do is just generally put it in, interspersed around it. We don't want to do loads and loads and loads of it because later on I'm going to show you what we can do with it. So coming off there, don't do it as solidly as it is in the middle. A few little bits here and there. Put that down. And then to create the texture, just get yourself a bit of kitchen roll, screw it up in a ball, make sure there's no other paint on it actually, so I'm going to get a fresh sheet of kitchen roll. And just scrumple it up so it's got a bit of texture to it like that. And what you want to do is, when this is starting to dry, the acrylic takes a while, you just want to dab this in. Now some of the spray paint underneath it is still a little bit wet, but this kind of adds to it I think, because what you're doing is you're just lifting it off the Corex and placing it back down, just building up this texture, getting your fingers in there and just popping it all the way along, and eventually it will start to build and build and build and get very, very thick with paint. Even if you want to put a little dab on this itself. But one thing you want to do is make sure you don't end up with the same repeating pattern. That looks like you've done it with this kind of scruffito sort of effect. So that there's starting to build up the texture that we like. And then we just continue on, putting this in here, there and everywhere. And just dabbing it around like that. And eventually it will start to fill the whole space and give some kind of texture to what we're looking for here as well. So there's a little bit more to do around here. Slop it in like that. Smack it around the back of this like that. Really start to come together now nicely. There are little bits of the tissue paper kitchen roll stuck to this, but you can always paint it out with the acrylic. So while that's undoing that, I'm going to switch the spray paint to the transparent black, which is here somewhere amongst my menagerie of spray paint. As you can see, I keep a very messy studio. There's stuff everywhere. See the gnome in the corner there, that's also for the garden room. He used to be putting up, there it is, there's the transparent black. But yeah, I've had a good day today. I've done loads and loads and loads. Got everything near enough done for the jungle room. Well, zoo room should I say. And this is the start of the garden room. So, we're on the bottom edge of this. You just want to use the transparent black and just dust it in. You don't want to go too thick with it at the start because it does tend to run. So you're just going to dust it in nicely, nicely, nice. All the way around. Remember, this is a hole essentially in the middle of the flower, so you can make that a lot darker. And where the petals would overlap it, that would give you this kind of effect there. Now another way of using this as well, in these bottom petals where it would go into the stem, you want to just cover it over with a bit of card, and then off the card into the stem, you're doing a shadow, just dropping down from there. And using the very corner of this, you can put it in here as well. And although it's a flower and it's very light, it would have a shadow in places, so you just want to be very carefully putting it along there, not doing too much. Less is definitely more in this kind of situation. My friends just sent me a message there. All the way along the bottom like this. And this has got a back petal here behind this one, so this one will be prominent. And this one will be the darker one, so we just want to pop that in there. Make that a bit darker than this one here. And we're just very, very gently at the top, doing it very, very soft. So darker at the bottom, softer at the top, like that. I will just check what my friend is saying. It's possibly about this live stream. I will be 1 minute.